Hi. So today we're going to be talking about the flute. First, we're going to talk about assembly. So we're going to, I have my case on the floor so that way it doesn't pop open. So first you're going to grab the head joint. Looks like this. Has a little tone hole. And you're going to grab the biggest piece of the flute, which is the body of it. Looks like this. And when you do this, you want to make sure that you aren't grabbing onto the rods or the pads. And you really, honestly, I just hold it at the top and the bottom. And when you put these two together, I usually set the body on my leg, and then you're going to use a twisting motion to put the head joint into the body piece. Like that. And then from there, you want to check the alignment. So the tone hole is going to line up with the keys. So I kind of turn a bit, turn it this way, turn it that way, do all the things until you find that it's where you want it to be. So next, you're going to grab the foot joint, which is the smallest portion in the case. And again, you want to avoid the rods, the keys, all the fun bits and pieces. And you're going to use the same technique of twisting it on like this. And with this one, you want to have the rod line up with the keys instead of, you would think the rods would go together, but it's actually the rod lines up with these keys. So now you have your flute together. Next, we're going to talk about posture. So with your posture, first, you're going to kind of turn your lower half at a 45-degree angle while keeping your front half, kind of more forward. And you want to have straight posture up, and you want to keep your chin up so that your air can flow freely from your body out through your mouth. So that way you can play. And so now that you have that, one of the ways to play the instrument is first, also with posture, you want to think about your fingers and your hand placements. And so your first finger on your left hand goes on this one. Your second one goes here. You see how they move multiple keys. And your third will go right below that. And then next, you're going to go down. There's 1, 2, third one down, right there and right there. And you're just going to let them hang there. Your balance points are going to be your thumbs. And so your thumbs won't really move unless you need to move to another key, which we'll talk about later. But for now, it's more of just your thumbs. And when you're playing, you want to make sure that your flute is parallel with the ground. Not perpendicular, parallel. And with this, you want to make sure that you don't have chicken wings and that you don't look like you're sweating really badly. You just want them out and like this. And if you have good posture, it'll kind of look like this. Okay. So now that we've talked about that a bit, let's go ahead and talk about our embouchure. So I'm going to go ahead and take the head joint off, avoiding touching the rods, might I say, and twisting it off. Okay. And so with this, we just need the head joint right now. Go ahead. A little technique we're going to start with first is go and get your little pointer finger out, and we're going to place it on our lower lip. It's just going to sit there for a second, relaxed, nice and chill. Next, we're going to think of producing firm corners, and something to help with this is thinking pure. Think of that ER sound, pure. And see how that kind of rests right there, pure. So now we're going to apply this into the head joint. And so you want to place it to where the tone hole is just around where your finger would go. And so now you want to do the same thing of having firm corners, and then once you get that established and you have your corners firm enough, you want to blow air and you want it to hit the back wall. And thinking about that so that it has an even split between the tone hole and the back wall should get you the tone that you would like. So I'm going to do that now. Pure. So now that I've done that, we're going to go ahead and put the flute back together. And again, using the twisting motion and just making sure that we are not crushing it, because it is a delicate instrument. Even though it's made of metal, it's still delicate. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to line the tone hole up with the keys. Perfect. I'm going to put my fingers in the placements we had talked about before. And with this, I'm going to produce proper posture and think again about creating firm corners and just blowing warm air through the instrument. So there. I'm thinking pure. And with this, you can kind of mess around, kind of changing some of the notes, hitting different keys. One of the notes that I'm going to think of first will be a C. And so with that, you're going to incorporate your pinky and your thumb, and you're going to have all of your other fingers down. And then next, it'll be a D, and you're basically just going to take your pinky off, and go to the next note. And so on and so forth. And you're just going to keep taking away fingers as you go. When I played the E, I went ahead and did this little foot key. And also, you're going to make sure that you're not hitting this back one. For the E, and then the F, you're just going to take away one more finger, so it's just this one, and again, this foot key, and these three fingers and the thumb are still down. And then the G, you're going to take away your right pointer finger and keep the rest down. From there, you're going to go to the A, taking away that pointer finger on the right. And also taking away your ring finger on the left. Next, we're going to go to the C, and that's going to be open and one, and taking away that thumb. Oh, and B, which B is the same thing, adding the thumb. And there you go. So thank you for joining me.